Hello, my name is Nick Davis with Team Davis Remax Premier Group. I live and work here in the Tampa Bay area, and what I'd like to talk to you today about is how to deal with issues that come up on a home inspection. So let's get started. So you're in contract, uh, you have to do an inspection. There are typically two contracts that we use here in Florida. One is an as is, and one is the residential purchase and sale contract. Now, there's a little difference, and I'm not going to get too much into them, but working with us, we would guide you through which one the seller is requesting. And there's different ways that the repairs are dealt with. One of them is an as is, where the seller says, I want an as is contract, and you can do a home inspection. And the seller is saying, but it's as is. That doesn't mean you can't go back to the seller, with major items. Like I use an example. You do a home inspection and the air conditioner is not working at all. Well, if the seller doesn't fix that air conditioner, it's going to come up on every inspection. So we could go back to the seller and say, hey, we want the air conditioner fixed. Now the seller has a couple options. They can say, okay, I'm going to fix it. They could say, I'm not going to fix it. Then you have an option. You could accept it with non-working air conditioning system, or you could cancel the contract. The other contract has a built-in percentage of the purchase price. Like, let's just say it was a $200,000 house and the built-in percentage, that was agreed upon was 1%. Well, that means that the seller will pay up to $2,000 towards any repair items. Let's get started with how you deal with issues that come up on a home inspection. First off, you want to hire a reputable, licensed, bonded, and insured inspector. You can Google, you can go to the NASHI, which is the National Association of Home Inspectors, and try to find someone who carries that NASHI certification. And that is a good place to start. Cindy and I work with several inspectors here in the Tampa Bay area that are all certified, licensed, and insured. And if you need a referral, just let us know and we'll help you out. But home inspection gets done and there's certain items. Now, on a purchase contract, there's warranted and non-warranted items. Non-warranted items are like grout, cracks in tile. Warranted items, the easiest way to explain a warranted item is that it is not working the way it is intended to. And I'll give you a couple examples. An air conditioning system, it's supposed to blow cool and hot air. If it's not working the way it's supposed to be working. A screen on a lanai. Now, screens are a really, really funny thing because a screen on a lanai is intended to keep the bugs out. So that screen would be warranted. Now, a screen on a window here in Florida is not considered a warranted item. It's actually considered a cosmetic item because the windows are there and they're keeping the bugs out. And if you've been in Florida during June, July, August, you're probably not opening up your windows anyways. So we got to first figure out, is the item warranted or non-warranted? So let's just say that, there's a couple items that come up, cracked tile. We would advise you that that is considered a cosmetic issue. There may be some issues that, are so simple. You just say, Nick, I can fix that. And that's fine. You can do that after closing. But let's say we have an air conditioner that's not working. So what would happen is the inspector would send us the report. We would prepare an addendum to the purchase contract. We would submit that addendum to you to sign. Then we would get it over to the listing agent who would present it to the seller. And like I said earlier, the seller has a couple options at that point. They could say, I'm not signing this. I'm not fixing the air conditioner. It's an as-is contract and the buyer can take it or leave it. And so the listing agent would contact me. I would turn around and contact you and say, this is what the seller said. Then we could, accept it and know that you're going to have to put an air conditioner in after closing. B, we could go back and say, okay, we're going to cancel the contract based on the inspection results. And then we'd go find you another house. So that's really kind of, the gist of it. And it just depends. If there was multiple items on the addendum or on the inspection report that we put on the addendum, seller may say, I'll get this one fixed. I'll get that one. One thing that we do on our addendums is we put that the seller has to use a licensed vendor to make those repairs. So they can't have, their cousin or their neighbor who, is a pretty handy guy, go fix the air conditioner. They have to get a licensed air conditioning company to come out there and service. And we also, we have it that we want a copy of the invoice and the diagnostic. Because one thing is sometimes, and this has happened to me when, my AC went out at my house, the AC company that comes out and says, do you want a quick fix or do you want to really fix it? And we don't want them to have on the diagnostic that the air conditioner needs to be replaced and they replace a valve or some sort of circuit that gets it working and it's a Band-Aid. And, 3 months later, you're putting in a new AC system. So we ask for that and we say that it's a must. You got to have a licensed person. You have to give us a copy of the invoice along with the diagnostic because we want to be able to see what was diagnosed versus what was fixed. So that, like I said, is really kind of the gist of it. I want to go back to cover a couple things that I just kind of thought about. And they are certain types of mortgages require certain inspections. And all these inspections would be, paid for by you as the buyer. But like some houses that have septic or wells require separate inspections for those items. And certain types of mortgages say you have to have it, they don't care. And others say they don't care if you have it. VA loans, you have to have a termite inspection. Conventional loans, you don't need to have a termite inspection. So there's a lot of things that, different inspections that could come up with items that we'd have to go back and negotiate with the seller. Now, other thing down here that we have, and it deals kind of with your insurance, and I'm not going to say what year homes. The best thing to do is to contact the insurance company because each one of them is different. I've had some of them who said that any homes built after 2003 do not require this. Some of them say 2013, and that's a wind mitigation report. And what that does is most home inspectors do these and they'll go up into the roof, they'll take some measurements, take some photos, put together this report, and you would submit that report to your insurance company and you could possibly get some discounts on your insurance premium. Now, there's one other thing which is called a 4-point inspection. And a 4-point inspection is required on homes of a certain age because the insurance company wants to know that, there's no cloth wiring, there's no knob and tube wiring in the house, there's no copper plumbing. So depending upon the age of the home, you may have to get this 4-point inspection. Now, the really good thing about the 4-point inspection with regards to negotiating a contract is that buyers can't get insurance. And so that's going to be something that seller is going to deal with every single time, because based on the age of a home, a 4-point inspection is required. And if it has cloth wiring, that cloth wiring isn't going away unless the seller, rewires the whole home. So in a nutshell, it's all about negotiations when it comes to issues that arise on a home inspection. And here at Team Davis, we look out for your interest and for your safety because some of these items, houses can burn down with cloth wiring. So when you're ready to find your new home, give us a call, 813-300-7116. I look forward to talking to you soon.